That's when people start to make things up, but it's
Literally.
not genuine anymore.
It's not. Like,
Like, whatever you think is cute, make it.
That's it. Hey, it's Paige Dani. Welcome back if you're subscribed, and hello if you're new. Today I'm back with another video, and I am here with the lovely Dani, all the way from Houston. Yes, you know the vibe. So today we're going to talk about fashion, sewing, everything you need to know. We did leave questions on the Instagram, so if you caught it, yay. If you didn't, hopefully this answers some of your questions. If not, like I always say, the DMs are open. So I'm gonna let Dani introduce herself, tell us where she's from, how she got into sewing, all that good stuff, and then we'll get into your guys' questions.
Okay, yeah, so hey guys, I'm Dani, and I'm from Houston. She said, I pretty much started sewing, you know, over quarantine. That's where I kind of like popped off with sewing and everything. But I had known how to sew beforehand. But ever since getting like, you know, having more free time, it kind of allows me to explore my creativity. And I feel like, you know, that's something that everyone should do, like, you know, right now, as long as you have, you know, time and resources.
Facts. So we actually never met in person, which is crazy. Like the power of social media.
Right.
I don't even know how I found you. It must have been this.
Know.
I mean, she's so viral.
Yeah.
She's the Twitter viral queen. So I'm sure, you know, two viral fashion queens here. So, you know, if you're not following us already, go follow at Paige Dani. And what's your Instagram?
At DaniXLEU.
There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna put it, you know, I'm gonna put it above like I always do so you guys can see. But let's just go ahead and jump into these questions and we'll go from there. The very first question is, and I'll put them up in the corner like I always do, but it says, does it take long to learn to sew, and which piece of clothing is easiest to create? So I guess we both can answer what we think. I've been sewing since I was 13, so really 9. That's when I first tried to tap into it. Oh God. So I mean, yes and no, because I have a friend right now that just started sewing over quarantine, and when I tell you he's making full jumpsuits and he's only been sewing for like 3 months, like if you put the time into this, sit down, watch YouTube, you know, ask people that know how to sew. I don't think it takes that. It's like learning how to ride a bike or drive a car. I think so. So to answer your question, no. I mean, if you really want to do it, you're gonna do it. And to answer that second part, which piece of clothing is easiest to create? Anything that is a knit. So we can get in a little bit more about fabrics, but knit is very stretched. It's usually 4-way. Something like a leotard or any activewear is going to be a knit. That is going to be easiest to create because you don't have to, you know, put it on the body, make darts, do all that crazy stuff, even if you don't know what that is. But yeah, knits are the easiest for me personally. But that's the question if you forgot. But
no, as far as like it does not take long to sew. I feel like the biggest thing I would say is like you make time for what you want. And like if you wanted to learn how to make a t-shirt from scratch in a day, go on YouTube, watch a couple of 10-minute videos, and you learn how to do it in one day. And I definitely feel like, you know, if you like actually care about, you know, wanting to learn, wanting to like better your craft, you will get it done, you know, quicker than you could have ever imagined. But as far as, you know, the easiest thing to sew, I would definitely say like working with mesh, like Paige knows I'm working with mesh, and like, you know, creating like swim is so like, you know, fun and easy to make, and like you can just see your creations in like within the hour.
Yeah,
you know?
like it's their little pieces.
Yeah,
so
little
don't
things.
worry about
Yeah,
that.
little crop tops. You know.
That is true. Okay, let's see. Next question. What are some resources to learn when you're trying to teach yourself? I'll let Dani start with that one since I took the last one.
I definitely say YouTube. Yeah, put it together. YouTube, literally everything you need to know, you can just Google it, like from scratch. You know, I started out with altering my clothes that didn't fit, and YouTube was the best resource for that. Like I used to alter.
It's okay, we'll cut it out.
But oh god. But anyways, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so I feel like the best resource would be YouTube. Like YouTube, you can literally start learn how to edit anything within the 3 minutes. Like you're done. Watch a video, and it's like easy for you to do it. And like, what do you think?
I think for sure YouTube. I mean, like I said, I was blessed enough to have my grandmother that was like hands-on. I think, and that, like I just talked about my friend Zay, but once again, like he has someone teaching him one-on-one. He's not even in class. So like I went to school, I'm in school for it right now, and you learn a lot being in school for it. But sometimes with YouTube, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know all the fabrics you should be using or the techniques you should be using. So it's great to a certain point. But I mean, all resources, I guess asking people, even DMing some of your favorite, you know, TikTok people, Twitter, you know, all that, because people are here to help. You know,
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy if you don't know something. I mean, like today, I think I forgot something about with my invisible zipper, like which side it should be on. Like sometimes I just forget. I literally just Googled it.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Google
it's just
your best friend.
Best friend. So
Best friend.
I'm not gonna repeat on you because that's definitely YouTube, people, and social media. Next question. Should I invest in a serger at the beginning stage? I don't think you need to invest in a serger. Save your money. Use the zigzag stitch.
Yeah.
Because a zigzag stitch will definitely do that if you have a Singer machine. Not my earring falling out. Hold on. What? We gotta redo this. Hold on. She said I want to talk too. Okay, we're gonna run that back real quick. Okay. Should I invest in a serger at the beginning stage? I do not think you need to invest in it if you're just starting off. Save your coins, sis. Use the zigzag stitch. That definitely closes the stitches up, or closes like your hems or whatever, because if you have like raw fabric and your woven fabric is you know, like fraying, just zigzag it or cut it really short with scissors. I think the serger for me just makes it very, very clean. You know, you open up your clothes, it's serged, it's clean. I'm just like kind of a neat freak like that, and I really love a serger. It's kind of like you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need it, because you have a serger, correct? Like,
Yeah, I have a serger now, but whenever I first started, I didn't even know what a serger was.
Me either.
But I did more research to the point where I was like, okay, you know, this would actually be beneficial to, because I started to wear my clothes out in public, you know, and I would notice like, you know, little hems were just like, you know, out.
Yeah.
And it wasn't looking professional, it wasn't looking cute. You know, whenever you start like, you know, progressing and, you know, wanting to sell it, wanting to, you know, wear it out in public, I definitely feel like a serger is necessary. But in the beginning, it's not.
Yeah, for sure. What type of sewing machine do y'all use? You know your machine?
I know it's a Brother sewing machine. I don't know
Right.
like the type exactly, but Brother, I feel like it's a great like, you know, brand for beginners. Like very easy
Sure.
to like, you know, there's a lot of tutorials because it's such a popular brand. So definitely say that's a great brand to invest in as well.
I don't know my machine, but I'll make sure to link it and I'll add a picture. And same with Dani's. I'll put her exact one in the corner so you guys will know. Mine is a very high-tech machine. I just got it from my grandmother. Like, I literally just got it and it is amazing. But once again, just like we said with the sergers, do not go blowing a bag on, you know, it's like a car. If you can get to and from to work, you don't need the Range Rover. You don't need the Bugatti right now. You know, just get your Honda.
Nice.
Push it right. It'll be
Nice.
nice. But your Honda still gets you there, sis.
Exactly.
So it's cool. My serger is a PAF, P-F-A-F-F. Amazing. Oh, no, I'm lying. That was my old sewing machine. I have a baby lock serger. Love it. Also, if you guys are looking for cheaper sergers and sewing machines, most of the time, the sewing machine shops, like where you would go to fix a sewing machine, they have machines on sale. So I would check there first, or Joann's, because they got coupons.
Yeah.
Hi, can you do a step-by-step video on how you sew your own clothes? I'm trying to get with that with YouTube. I don't know if you're starting to do tutorials. Tutorials are hard because you gotta stop, sew, show it, zoom in. So
You know, but we will.
yeah,
We'll get there.
Facts. Do you have YouTube?
Gradually. You know, I want to start,
Okay, yeah.
but like, you know, in the future, you know,
Yes.
next few months.
Baby steps. Yeah, it's hard to do it all.
Right.
But I have a few tutorials up, so go ahead and check those out for your YouTube. But I will try and incorporate that more, even if it's on TikTok. There's a few videos, but it's hard out here. Let's see. How do you get your measurements perfect? I always mess up on that part. How do you get your measurements perfect?
I literally, because I don't, you know, sew for other, like whenever I'm like first making a sample, I sew it to my own body. So I literally have a tape measure. I just measure my bust, you know, waist, hips, and literally every 4 inches, I'll measure it again just to make sure it's right. And that's kind of how I create, you know, the patterns to go with it as well. But it's literally always to my body.
So this is a question like off the record or whatever. So you say you measure and then create your pattern.
Yeah.
So when you create your patterns, or do you use store-bought patterns? Do you use like your clothes in your closet, or how do you?
See, I usually go to Joann's and get like the pattern like paper.
Okay.
And then I would use like if I'm recreating something I already have, I kind of use the like shirt or something I have as like a guide
Okay.
for the pattern. But as far as like, you know, the actual measurement, it would be, you know, to the new, you know, piece that I'm creating.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of tweak patterns. I never really like patterns, but I like draping. I'm a
See,
draping
we're
girl.
opposite there.
Next question is, where do you get, oh, that cut out a lot of sound. Where do you get your inspo for certain designs when you buy clothes? I don't. I saw it too and I just ignored it. It's because I think the air like pushes it open. I thought I locked it, but it like pushes it. I know, it was kind of creepy.
Sorry.
Yeah, let's restart. Okay, where do you get your inspo for certain designs when you buy clothes? It's kind of a confusing question.
Yeah,
when I buy my inspo for buying clothes, I'm confused.
I thought it was cute.
Yeah, I think that's the question.
But
yeah.
like info for actually designing my own pieces. Like, we were just talking about it earlier, like literally like going back in time, going back into history and kind of seeing like, what was done in like, that time period. So like right now we're in like 20s. So going back and looking back in the 1920s and seeing like, how fashion was there and kind of like, recreating things like, to your own liking into what would be like, modern day society, what would be perfect here.
Yeah, that's dope. I really wish I could get more into that. I'm like, if it's sexy, I'm gonna take it.
Period.
That's just
and that's
my
and
vibe.
that sells.
Because my teachers always want me to avant-garde and get your inspo and mood board. And I'm like, I told my teacher this past semester, I'm like, I don't know why I created it. I created it. Like, they always like, that's just how I am as a designer. I've always
and and everything doesn't need a whole like, backstory behind it. Because like, that's when people start to make things up. But it's not genuine.
It's not. Like,
so whatever you think is cute, make it.
That's it. What are your go-to online fabric stores? I don't shop. I've actually never bought fabric online. Unless it was maybe like an applique. I really love to go into stores, touch the fabric, feel the stretch, knowing if I'm really gonna like this fabric. So I don't purchase fabric online. I currently live in Los Angeles, so it is heaven downtown LA, literally. And before that I was in Chicago. And sadly in Indianapolis it was like Joann's, but still works for sure. Use your 40% off, just keep on.
But for me, I did buy a couple of fabrics online whenever quarantine was going on. You couldn't really go to the store, so I did a bunch of research. And so like for people that actually want to know about online stores, I would say Blue Moon Fabrics, Moody's. Those two would be the best fabric stores online for me.
Yeah.
A little bit pricey, but
Mood Fabric.
Mood Fabric. Mood.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if that was it for one.
Mood or Mood?
Yeah. Mood. Mood's for sure one. Mood, I use them all the time. I'm trying to think. And if you have your wholesale, I've done. It's called W Wholesale Fabrics.
I think I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I usually I lied. I got all my fabric for my do rags online. I'm like, I bought a lot of yardage. So try and do wholesale if you can. It's gonna be cheaper. That works out really good. I guess this is a question for me. Thinking about moving to LA, is it a good place for designers? I love it here, and you will love it here. Like, when I tell you one thing about the fashion district, that's where I work at. Just walking there, seeing all the fabrics, it's a whole new world. Like, it's just so nice. Like, it's way cheaper to buy your fabric here. Everything you need, your notions, and you're surrounded by, like-minded people. You're in the district where if you don't feel like sewing and you want to get it manufactured, boom, go get it done. There's designers, sketchers, pattern makers, everything. And I just feel like LA is just I come from the Midwest, so I feel like in LA is just like so open mind, creators.
I'm moving. Like,
you got this. Like,
I want to move now.
Yes, I love it here. I literally love it here. I'm so happy I'm here. So I really hope you move. And if you have any questions about moving, like, yes, please ask me. I love it here. How do you make patterns? Can you teach us? Dani?
Girl, so I'm not like, perfect with patterns yet, just not perfect with anything sewing yet. But I like I said before, like I definitely say like taking the pieces that you already have like in your closet and kind of like, drawing out like, that exact piece, like, and buying the right like rulers and like, making it straight, making it nice and clean. I feel like pattern making is kind of like 70% of actually, sewing. The cutting process is like just the most important,
Yeah,
so taking time to make sure that you're measuring it right and like, you're tracing the right amount of, space needed is definitely, something that would save you a lot of time in the long run.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's almost like blow drying your hair. I feel like if I don't blow dry my hair out all the way the right way. I know, I was just thinking that. I'm like, okay, it's not one of the metaphors, bro. But for real, like, if I don't blow dry my hair out right, my hair not gonna come out blown straight, silky the way I'm like, if I'm trying to rush through it,
Take your time whenever you're doing anything.
I think you posted that. I think you were like, 90% of sewing is
Yeah.
not even sewing.
Not
like
even.
10% of it is sewing, and that's so true. Like so true. Cause I'm like, dang, by the time I sew, like that's it.
Yeah.
How do you sew so neatly? Practice, because sometimes I'll be legs and I still.
I was looking at my regular straight stitches from
Yeah.
the beginning. We're like
Crazy.
Nah.
I just say practice, and like if you have to mark it, like mark with chalk on a straight line if you need to, but like there's markings on your sewing machine. Any sewing machine you're gonna have is gonna mark it, so always make sure the edge of your fabric just lines up to that same like number or whatever, and then it stay straight, you know.
watch that as opposed to the needle.
Yeah, facts. What stitches do you use certain fabric types, with certain fabric types like spandex with zigzag? I mean, you kind of started on the right way with that. Like spandex, you're gonna want to use anything stretchy. You're gonna want to use a zigzag because it will continue to let your fabric stretch because of the way it's sewn. When you're using more of a straight stitch, I guess like your wovens or anything. I guess it really depends. Yeah, I feel like it depends what I'm making, because like collars, like if I know that I'm making like a really sharp turn collar, I'm gonna want to do a straight line, because if it's a zigzag, it's not gonna be as sharp. So that's kind of very specific. If you have any specific questions, I guess, with what you're making, once again, use Google. If you're making shorts and you want to see what they use for it, I say just Google it, because that's a very broad question.
And definitely Google your machine as well, because I know certain zigzag stitches look different on each person's machine. I was kind of confused about my machine for a long time until I Googled it, and I found like this certain stitch is like more of a stretch stitch as opposed to a zigzag stitch, so it's kind of different sometimes.
That's good. When and when not? Oh, I think she's saying when or God, this is tricking me out. I think she's asking when is the best time. When and when should you not use the serger? I'll let you go first, because I feel like I've been answering everything first.
So I feel like using a serger is definitely like for pieces that are like, like I said, pieces that you're gonna go out and that you just want it to look nice and clean, like certain t-shirts, skirts, like honestly use a serger as much as you can if you know how to use it. Like
Facts.
it's definitely very like a beneficial tool, like something that will actually make your pieces look more like clean and professional in the long run.
Do you use a serger, like if you're doing something knit, do you just use your serger, or do you always go with the machine first and then clean it with the serger?
A machine first.
Because I see girls are like, zoom, 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 like, won't do.
I can't, because like the thing is like, I like to, I don't have to commit all the way sometimes.
Facts.
So using that, regular machine, I
Yeah.
could always like, pick apart that stitch, fix it. Serger, once it's cut, it's cut.
It's cut and it cuts it off. Like,
I
I've been seeing
cut it
people
off.
like, I guess if I was doing like 20 bodysuits of the same thing and I knew like, okay, let me just serge it up.
Yeah, but samples and everything.
Yeah, no regular stitch. Best way to learn draping. So I learned, guess this for me. I learned draping during my school semester, and actually my first draping semester was during COVID, so I really only learned for about 2 months before we got taken out of school. And it was really a pretty easy process. You learn your mannequin form first, and how that correlates to the body. And then honestly, the process of draping, I believe you could just use it on YouTube. You definitely need a mannequin. You're gonna need draping tape. You're gonna need tailoring pins. Those are main things you're gonna need, a measuring tape and your chalk. But I would say YouTube, once again, if you're not able to go to a design school to learn that, just look it up and look up different ways, different methods to drape. I think draping dresses are the easiest, draping shirts as well. Use a cow neck. I think a cow neck is probably one of the easiest things to drape because of the natural form of the pattern of the fabric. But yeah, I don't think it's too hard, and I think that's the best way to learn. When are you teaching me how to sew? Okay. We're gonna make some content. You got some shooters in here. This is your Dani's questions.
Right.
Shot. We said questions, not the shots. What machine is best for beginners? I think we kind of touched on this.
Yeah.
She said brother. I say Singer. Same. Both really good. And a good price point. Is a dress form required? Do you have a dress form?
No, I don't have actual dress form,
Her
but
body is the dress form. Okay.
Girl, you
No.
like. But no, I don't think it's required in the beginning. But once you want to actually get into draping and everything, 100%, yeah.
So you say you have a mannequin, so like you can't put pins into it.
I
It's
can put pins into it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's not like the actual professional dress form.
Mine doesn't either.
Right.
People don't know that. Mine is literally, I got mine off Amazon.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's just like it.
But it works for you.
Yeah, it works. It's literally my body measurements. Like when I look it up
exactly.
online.
Yeah, make sure it's your body. You know, it doesn't have to be like $300
Or
dress
similar.
form.
Yeah, mine was $78. I kid you not.
Perfect.
Literally, and now I kind of wobble sometimes, but hey, I mean, it does what it does.
Yeah.
I mean, off the record. But how long does it typically take for you to complete a piece?
Honestly, it depends on what I'm trying to make. But on average, like I don't like to cut and sew in the same day. This is what I'll say. Like, you know,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't.
You don't cut your stuff and sew in the same day?
No, I don't like to
Really?
do that. I feel like, you know, it's just. I like to make it very precise when I'm cutting, and then tomorrow's just like, okay, you
You're
know,
sewing it.
now I'm sewing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I get so excited. I'm like, I'll be deed if that's the only
Really?
thing I did today was cut. I feel so unaccomplished.
No. I feel like I just like to separate it, you know, take it like step by step. I feel like probably why I be taking forever to create new things. But I definitely say, like, you know, if I was to do it like all in one, it wouldn't take more. Like, depending on what I'm making, like, you know, for example, a dress wouldn't take more than 4 or 5 hours.
Wow. But you know what? That makes sense because see, you cut all your pieces. I cut, I sew, I cut, I sew, I cut, I sew. I don't cut all my pieces at once. Yeah.
Oh, really?
No. So like when I made our dress, like I did the skirt, the bottom. I made the top part first, draped that, cut it, sewed it, boom, cut it, sewed the straps. Then I went and made the strap. Like yeah.
Okay,
so like I might get the top done for the night, but then I'll do the bottom tomorrow. That's how I kind of.
Okay.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe if you guys like this video. You know we'll be back for more. Thank you so much for joining me, Dani.
Thank you for having me. What?
I'm back in LA.
Girl, of course. I will definitely be back here as soon as possible, as soon as I can.
Listen, it's up and it's stuck. But yeah, go ahead. Go follow the viral Twitter queen. Go, you know, like her on all platforms and everything. We'll be back. Hopefully I can do more of this, like bringing these fashion queens here because I really like it. I love the community. I really like to take the time to say, like, I really enjoy having like a black friend in this industry.
No,
like, I mean, any friend in the industry, but like, come on, like, it's hard to find like a woman of color and similar age and like grind and do your thing.
That, you know,
it's all love. So, thank you guys. Much love. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.